Hello, everybody. So today, what we're going to be talking about is WWE's Fastlane pay-per-view premium live event, which will be going on this Saturday in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, this pay-per-view has basically nothing announced for it. There's only 5 matches, which is kind of underwhelming, but I digress. So we're going to look over each match and who I predict will win and what will happen. So first up, I'm going to go in the order these matches were announced. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Title Champion things, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Now, this match is going to be a good match, no doubt. There's going to be good action that goes on during this bout. But is there any real chance that a random tag team of Cody and Jay will dethrone the Judgment Day? I don't think so. I think this is being used to build something in the future, be it a Judgment Day alignment with JD McDonough, or maybe Cody or Jay spreading off into different feuds. Maybe somebody else interferes, like Solo or Jimmy, for like later in the night, as I will mention. But I expect the Judgment Day to retain their titles. All right, next up we have a 6-man tag team match with the LWO taking on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Now, we don't actually know who the 3 members of the LWO will be here. It's presumed it will be Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and according to the pictures shown here, Joaquin Wilde, because he is in the front. So I'm going to assume Joaquin Wilde is the 3rd member. I would like to see either team win, and I don't really know how to phrase that. The street business, I'm just going to say that, they need wins. They're a new faction, and unless we're talking about a quick faction to have them feud storyline, they need a win. But the LWO also needs wins. Rey Mysterio is the United States champion. Why is the U.S. title not being defended on pay-per-view? Why is the Intercontinental Championship not being defended on pay-per-view? I don't know. But I digress. This match should be good, and it's Bobby Lashley's first match in quite a long time. So we'll see how he's looking. But because of how they're building the storyline, I suspect the LWO will win this match. I think they're trying to tell the storyline of the Profits not performing up to Bobby's expectations, but I could see this going either way. I just happen to predict the LWO. Next up, we have the women's triple threat match for the women's title, with the champion Io Sky taking on Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Now, this match has the weirdest build I've ever heard of. Let's look back months ago. WrestleMania 39. Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the women's title. Asuka loses to help Bianca keep her undefeated WrestleMania streak. Night of Champions. Asuka wins. She beats Bianca Belair for the title. Then Bianca and Charlotte start feuding. But Asuka's the champion, but she's the 3rd wheel. And then Io's there, and then Bayley's there, and then Dakota Kai's there. And then now she's like the 6th wheel. And there's so many different things that make no sense about this. How Asuka was like a 6th wheel as women's champion. Now, obviously, she's not, but she's felt really weird during this whole build. This should be, again, a great match. It's no disqualification because it is a triple threat match, so could see some shenanigans. Never count out Charlotte in a women's title match. She could very well win again. I hate that prospect so much. Not again. Not again. But as I was saying, again, should be a really good match because it's a triple threat match and it's Charlotte Flair in the match. I expect Io Sky to retain by pinning Asuka. I don't like that, but it's just what they are probably going to do, unless there's some cheap no finish or something like that. As I said, I expect Io Sky to retain her title. Next up, we have the presumed main event, because there's only one, the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. Now, a lot of people have been saying, Seth's reign is really boring. Seth should drop the title. Seth needs to lose the title to Shinsuke. Shinsuke needs to be world champion. And I agree with them. I do. I think that in this kind of a stipulation for this kind of a feud, because it's been a pretty intense feud despite the lack of build. It's only been like 2 months. I think that if Shinsuke doesn't win, what was the whole point? Like, let's pretend you're watching a TV show and, there's this main character who's really fun, really cool, but there's this mean dude who really hates this main character. And he's been presented as this guy who's always annoying him over and over and over and over again. And it's starting to break the main character. He's starting to get angrier and angrier. And then eventually, he just disappears. Doesn't really have any impact on the rest of the story, and the main character goes back to normal. Wouldn't make any sense. That would be what would happen if Seth won. So I want Shinsuke to win here. I don't suspect he will because they won't pull a trigger on him. But I'm going to give him a vote of confidence, and I'm going to say Shinsuke Nakamura wins this match and becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, the other match that could possibly main event, and the last match and most recent announced, John Cena and LA Knight versus, as I mentioned earlier, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso in a tag team match. No titles or anything. This is John Cena's first match back, excluding Superstar Spectacle. They're really giving LA Knight the rub here. Now, does he need it? Kind of. They're putting him with 3 main eventers because while Solo Sikoa isn't main eventing pay-per-views, he might hear, because he's in the bloodline, is automatically in like main event status. Like I could say Paul Heyman is a main eventer, technically. But LA and John Cena teaming up is something that is really a vote of confidence. Like I gave to Shinsuke, WWE is giving it to LA Knight. Here, work with one of the greatest of all time and who we think is the greatest of all time against 2 bona fide Hall of Famers. And it's Solo Sikoa. He's in the bloodline. He's going to go in the Hall. So, I expect John Cena and LA Knight to win this match. I don't expect it to be as dominant as some expect. I expect it to be a competitive match. Yeah, I think, did you notice? I think that Jimmy will look to have it won, but somehow, instead of Super Cena, we get Super Knight, and LA's able to kick out something big. If they really want to give him a vote of confidence, as Santi Zap said, LA and LA will pin Solo Sikoa, which would be, that'd be a big one. But those are all the matches announced. There is nothing else. So that's my video. Have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk. Do you agree with my opinions? Do you think that all of them were wrong? Do you think Charlotte Flair is the greatest wrestler in the world? If so, I hate you. Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah. One more thing. If LA Knight and John Cena don't win, what are they doing? And I honestly would like to mention this. It seems like they're trying to build Reigns versus Knight, which would be cool. But I don't want to see LA Knight lose. So, yeah. Just, LA Knight should dethrone Roman Reigns, obviously. Or Omos, either one. I should make a video on that. Yep, that's my next video. After September in wrestling. Omos, the greatest wrestler of all time. All right. Actually, though, have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, whatever. Goodbye.